Favorite photo, would Kimberly be shocked? Let's see about what happened.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's just funny.
Browns, right?
Here we go. Would Kimberly be shocked if Mike Tomlin has his first ever season finishing with a losing record?
It pains me to say this, but I would not be shocked. This team is so inconsistent. They've beaten Jeff's Colts.
Wow.
And yet,
that was a stray for no reason.
When you expect them to kind of close out and win the division, everything's open. Now the Ravens are ahead of them, so I don't know. I would not be shocked.
I mean, perhaps it should just be said they're just not that good. As you watch them, it's the way it looks. And here's the next one. Let's talk about a guy who is that good. Would Kimberly be shocked if Myles Garrett breaks the sack record before Christmas?
Really, I would not be shocked. He's a monster. This man sacked Lamar Jackson 4 times a couple weeks ago. And he sacked Geno Smith three of the 10 sacks that he had. He is on such an impressive tear, and it is a shame that Myles Garrett is being wasted another season in Cleveland. I know he's getting his money, but still.
You'll be there this weekend to see it in person against San Francisco. And then finally tomorrow night, will you be shocked if Joe Burrow upsets the Ravens in his return?
Hear me out. I would not be shocked. You know why? Because I see the AFC North more than any other division, and I have seen the Ravens and the Bengals go head-to-head. I've seen Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson trade blows. Lamar Jackson has the toe injury, the knee, the hamstring that he's dealing with. The Ravens' offensive line, an issue. So as much as the Bengals, there's a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow to be back. The Ravens, they have some issues as well.
I'll dive into that game, but first let's hear from Burrow. He talked yesterday, because you've heard it. There's so many people saying, why is he coming back? He's got all this history of injuries. He's got the toe. The team feels out of it. Here was Burrow yesterday on why he's coming back to the field despite the injury risk.
I'm not going to ever go to somebody and say, yeah, I'm healthy, but I don't think I should go out there and play. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not going to live my life and play this game scared of something happening.
And I have so much admiration for that perspective. I mean, just in an honest moment, because it's so the opposite of the way my mind works. And I mean that, like, seriously. My mind is trained to always consider the worst case scenario and work my way from there. That's how I make decisions in life. You want to know why people get to beat Joe Burrow? Is because he says, I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking, I'm going to go out there and I'm healthy now, and I'm going to go beat these guys. And that's one of the ways you get to beat Joe Burrow.
I mean, Joe Burrow's a special player, but that's just football. Like, there's a sorting process from the time you're 8 to the time you get to the league.
Right.
No one's in the league like, I don't want to play. Right. I mean, play. There's not a soul in the NFL that's afraid of like contact or physicality or afraid of getting hurt. Like, you don't get there. At some point along the way, those guys are sorted out. So I like that Joe Burrow has this mindset, and as long as you're still in the race, they want to be competitive. However, if they're out of it, somebody else got to make that decision. It ain't up to you anymore, Joe.
That's the only point that I would make about this. Look, ACL, PCL, meniscus, torn wrist ligament, surgery on a turf toe. Look, I understand Joe's an alpha. He is the alpha of alphas, okay? And he can single-handedly end Baltimore's 5-game winning streak. Him and Jamar have torched this team since those two have been together. They have put up ridiculous numbers. So I get it. He's probably sitting there going, hey, look, they're paying me a lot of money. I'm a bad dude, okay? I know what I bring to the table. I don't care if we're out of it or not. But as you said, if I was management right now and I was looking at that list of injuries and I'm sitting there thinking, what's the realistic possibilities of us making it in the postseason? I would have a long conversation with him about, Joe, I understand you want to play. I want you to play. I also want you to be our quarterback for another 5, 6, 10 years. Of course, he could get hurt at any point in time. It would be something that would be on my mind, though. But you're right. There is nothing but respect for this dude. Nothing. He has fought through everything behind an offensive line that is like Swiss cheese since he's been there. It's been awful. And he has continued to answer the bell. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I appreciate Lou from the management side. As a player, bro, if I'm in my locker room, my quarterback decides, hey, season's not really worth it, you're going to lose a lot of respect in the locker room.
Business decisions.
The leader of your team cannot be saddled with, well, the season wasn't going great, so everybody else can play, but not me. And I get it. Like, I understand from management, like, you don't want your quarterback to be injured. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of money, all of those things. But if as guys who have been in the locker room as long as we all have, we all know if that happened, we would lose respect. Because we know he could argue that point if I'm going to get back on the field. I would never see that.
I have no doubt. He's not arguing.
No.
I'm just saying if I was management, I'd be sitting there going, oh,
you're scared.
man.
Ain't no doubt.
Well,
That's why they're not football players.
think about, but look at their schedule. Look at the last 6 games that they
If they sweep the Ravens, they have a chance.
which I don't think will happen, but it could happen. And that to me is the toughest. That's the toughest test, trying to sweep the Ravens. But it's not impossible for them to run the table.
You watch the Ravens closely every single week. They haven't looked that good. The offense, something's not right with Lamar, right?
Yeah, things don't seem right with Lamar. Kyle Hamilton got hurt at the end of that game. Yep. He is the difference maker on that defense that makes everything they do so difficult to stop. So I think there could be a problem with this team if they can't protect Lamar. Lamar also feels like he can't really protect himself. The run game that we just thought was always automatic in Baltimore has not been consistent or effective. This team is leading the division right now, but it's not because they're the same Ravens that we've grown accustomed to seeing. A lot of these AFC teams, and the Ravens are included, are not nearly as good as we expect.
I think all those things are related, though, like their offense not being, as productive, their run game, because when you look at Lamar, even when he came back off injury the first week, he does not look right. And when your defense is schemed around protecting Lamar being able to do special things, and he's limited, and he looks limited.
Even when it's clean pocket throws, intermediate throws, when he's trying to hit Mark Andrews, how many throws have you seen him miss? Over the past couple of weeks?
Look at the screen.
Whoa!
Look at the screen. We got a clean sweep of Ravens. You know which way I'm going, baby.
Oh, yeah.
No. You know which way I'm going. Bengals are a lock.
Bengals are a lock.
Simply because we picked
Go the other way. Always. Go Oppo. Fade the public. Fade the
Go Oppo.
It always
I'm
works.
going to use that. Go Oppo.
Where do you live?
Relax, cool guy.
I didn't play football.
The guy starts training a little bit. He's like, how these little cliches.
Switch it up, go other side. Fade the public. I'm a cool guy.
Fade? He just said fade the public. That's what he just said.
Listen,
Cool guy.
listen, you guys were busy knowing one robber. I had a bookie I knew in college. Roll the tape. Coming up, George Pickens is lighting it up.
Thanksgiving slate is nearly upon us, and like a Thanksgiving dinner plate, there's a little bit of everything this year. The Packers and Lions have been meeting like this for decades. This will be the 23rd meeting between the teams on Thanksgiving alone, the most in NFL history. NFC North may not be won, but could be lost over Turkey. Chiefs and Cowboys meet in the second ever matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. Mahomes has never played on Thanksgiving, while Dak has played in it 7 times. Chiefs are a game out of the playoffs as it stands. And how about an AFC North battle? Bengals, Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and Baltimore have won 5 straight following that 1-5 start. Joe Burrow is expected to return after missing 9 games with a toe injury, while teammates Jamar Chase is back from suspension.
Typically, there's not a lot on, except football. Back in the day, it was Lions and somebody. You go watch Matthew Stafford throw for 300, 400 some yards with Calvin Johnson and probably lose the game, but it was fun to watch.
Obviously, you grew up watching Thanksgiving games, no matter who you're a fan of. If it's the Lions, Cowboys, or whoever's playing at night, you grew up watching those games. And so I think as that kid in me wants to be able to go out there and play on Thanksgiving and find a way to win.
I really hate to lose. Like, there was a time I was playing game night with my girl, and she won against me, and I lost, and I didn't speak to her for about 2 days. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just like that mindset, just hate to lose.
Seems like every time we played them, we've been going back and forth. Great quarterback over there, great receiving core. So just looking forward to it again, Hopefully don't be going back and forth. Hopefully it's one side and it's our side.
Well, if you're giving me one, give me ham. Ham is the key, right, to the perfect plate. I know there's a lot of turkey lovers out there. Unless it's fried turkey. I'm all about fried turkey.
All right, time for a Thanksgiving edition of Saturday Sneak Peek with the NFL analyst, our box office hit maker, Jeff Saturday. I love the sound of a turkey. Jeff, what movies are on the marquee this weekend, starting with Lions-Packers?
Yeah, let's go to the Hunger Games.
How about that? We're going to crank this thing up. Lions, Packers. Now, let's not forget, they met in week 1, and the Packers brought out the whooping stick, and they put it on them. It was like an old-school beatdown. And the Lions taking them back home. I got to see this offensive line, and how do they adapt to this Micah Parsons-led defensive front. This is going to be a heck of a game. Obviously, division opponents. This thing has all type of playoff implications, not only in the division, but for wild card games. You do not want to get swept in your division, and that's what the Lions are facing. Their offensive line, again, they've had to shuffle guys around. They lost some guys. This is a big, big moment for them at home. They had a tough schedule heading down. This Packers game starts it off. They got to find a way to win.
All right, so every box office.
Moving over. Second helping. How about this? Now, this might be the game of the week here. You got the surging Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. The Cowboys, they have everything in their favor. Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams, and then you saw what the Chiefs did to the best offense in football, Indianapolis Colts. They completely shut them down. I love this matchup in totality. The big plays from Pickens, the Spags run defense on the back. The defensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs with Chris Jones get after this Dak Prescott lick, because that's the only way to make changes. And then finally, the leftovers, Philly and Chicago. By the way, Chicago leading the NFC North, and it is making some headway with Ben Johnson, and the Eagles struggling up front. If you watch that Cowboys game, they shut down Saquon Barkley, made it a tough day, and even though they scored in the air, the Eagles, after about 2 or 3 minutes in the second quarter, didn't score again, had some self-inflicted wounds. That thing did not look good. Chicago likes to run the ball and be physical, and then let Caleb Williams push the ball down the field. It's a heck of a matchup I'm fired up for.
Yeah, we're fired up for every single one of these matchups, but just like every box office hit, it has its critics. So now joining us is Dominique Foxworth for Neek's Critique. So let's circle back to the second helping. That Chiefs-Cowboys matchup. Yeah. 2 thumbs up or 2 thumbs down?
That Chiefs-Cowboys game is going to get 2 thumbs up from me for sure. It's a star-studded affair, and I'm really looking forward to watching those defenses try to take down those offenses. I'm not sure if it's possible. I know that some teams have had success against Mahomes by playing man coverage, but that's not what either Blues and the Cowboys do very much. They want to be able to play zone and let that D-line eat, but you're going to have to slow down those receivers because Patrick Mahomes has struggled a little bit. If you can say Patrick Mahomes struggles against anything, so far this year it's been against man coverage. So seeing if this defensive line and Quinnen Williams can get after Patrick Mahomes and slow them down some, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game because there is no answer right now for the way George Pickens is playing. So we're locked in on defense in this big marquee matchup.
Yeah, and listen, I think this as well, when you look at Patrick Mahomes, like he's not playing his best football. Like there's some things that you've seen, he's turned the ball over, which is, completely opposite of who he's been. There's some shots that he's missed going down the field. And again, to Neek's point, you're going to have to attack this zone and push the ball down the field and let your playmakers make plays. It's going to be, it's not going to be another hunt. I know Pacheco's coming back, but I think it's going to be a tough day trying to run the rock against the Cowboys, which sounds crazy, but with the addition of Williams and Kenny Clark and now Overshown and Logan Wilson, it's much more difficult. It's going to be a great game to watch.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Problem. Fried turkey, the only way to go.